Alright, so I went with my bike cord and I grabbed a caliper style, breaks it up off a bike and all its miscellaneous hardware. And then I whittled out a piece of square tubing to act as the bridge that goes across. And of course it was a bit of a pain in the ass to fit because you're dealing with an angle on each side that you know, it reduces on size, so you have to get it the right spot in the frame. You know, it's not like you whittle it and say, okay, well, that's where it ends up. It has to be in a certain spot for the pads to end up in a certain spot. And anyway, so I got it. And so I kind of mocked up where it should go. I'm gonna try to find a longer set of pads, but for now I'll use those. Of course, they're not turned to the right angle, but you get the idea. I just have that holding it in the lock position. So I shall tack that in place and then get all the junk off of it. And even if I want to change out the caliper later, at least I have the brace centered over the wheel to work with. All right, let me get that welded up. Well, I'd say that's about it. I am a couple minutes away from just tearing it all apart. That's kind of what mock-up is going to be. Of course, it will change as it goes back together, but all the stuff that needs to be where it needs to be is, you know, minus fuel lines and cables and kill switches and all that kind of stuff. Paint. That's it. So got a couple of boxes. I'm gonna start stripping it down and putting all the pieces in the boxes, and then I could start welding everything nice and permanent like on the frame and make it nice and strong. Well, that was about 10 minutes worth of work. Still picking away. I figure I grabbed the camera in the middle. Got a couple of boxes of parts and pieces. Stripping her down. Alright, so I got the bike all tore apart, and I've been going through the front end. I got that, all the pieces welded up and Scotch-Brited. I'm going to leave what there is for paint on it right now because I just want to kind of look at it, and before I grind it all off, I may want to use it, so I may leave it there for accenty looking pieces, you know. Everything else is all welded and ground and then Scotch-Brited down. It's alright. And now it's going to be off to the frame. The frame is got a lot more welding to get done on it, so good to get that done. And that's pretty much it with naked. I gotta rotate this thing about 20 different ways and start welding everything up. Rounding all the corners off. I cut that front kickstand off. I can cut this thing off. Cut the tab off for the chain guard. I don't know if I want to grind all the blue off or what. Or I might just grind where I can get to in some areas that are going to be tight. Just leave them alone. Getting down inside it. Some of those areas. I might try to weld in from behind on all this stuff. I wish there was no welds at all in the front, but it's kind of hard to do when you're mocking it up. Alright, well, I'm going to go get my little sander on there and start prepping everything, and basically I think I'm going to bounce back and forth between welding and cleaning and cutting. And I want to make gussets too, I think. Help support some stuff a little bit better. Alright, less talking, more work. Alright, so I've been grinding and wire wheeling and flapper disking and everything else and trying to get all the paint off of it after everything was all welded up. And only place I'm kind of leaving a little bit left behind is going to be down in the center down there where it says OCC choppers, and probably up on the triple trees, and the rest of it I'm just gonna put all back together. And you'll probably even see less of that once everything's put on, the motors and everything. You probably won't see that much, but I want to be able to point at it and say, yeah, that's what it is. Gusted it a couple of places. Cut up an old sprocket off of the Barbie bicycle, and put one there and one down there to help that rear section of the frame so it doesn't torque itself that much, because that's where all the pull is, on that one side there. Welded up the back sides of all the forks and everything to have them have some support. And now we're getting to the point of paint. And whoever watches my videos normally, on the last bike I did, the rat bike, I ended up using black shoe polish, and I just darkened up all the metal of the frame. And I'm going to do something along that same line, but not quite the same, because I just want to see how it's going to work. And this is what we're going with. It is a bluing kit for gun barrels. It actually kind of turns black more than it does blue, but that's what we're going to go and try to attempt. So I am going to clean it. All kinds of stuff in there. I think it's the prep stuff up on top. Anyway, so we're going to go take that apart, and we're going to go see how this works out and see what it does for a color on the frame. Alright, I figured before I go all balls out on the frame, I'll try it on a little scrap piece that we kind of know is the same material, and I kind of treated it the same way with the grinder and sanding and same material underneath. What they have is a cleaner. Then say if you're doing a gun and you're taking the old blue off first, and then whatever rust, I guess we'll take that off. I think that's an acid. And then there's the perma blue, which is a the actual color, which I think is an acid also. I haven't really read up on it. And as far as I understand, it corrodes the barrel to that color, but we'll see. We'll see what kind of effect we get just by playing with it. I need me a little one of these jobbers. So what I did was I didn't use the blue and rust remover, because it was clean metal and it was no blue on it except for that blue. And so I figured we'll just go right for the dye and see what it does. The kit wasn't bad either. There's 6 bottles, and then it's got some other stuff in it too. It was 32 bucks. Right, this stuff is clear, it's got no color to it. Let's see what we get. Let's do half of this one, we'll stop it. We'll just kind of see what it does. Now I believe it keeps kind of going until you stop it, and you need to stop it with water. But I'm hoping I can put just enough on so where it's pretty much dark and transparent. I don't want to turn it solid black, but I want you to see all the grind marks and stuff in it, kind of give it a ratty kind of look to it, but a look that stays, you know. Doesn't look too bad. I'll go through that with you. You see the color difference on that? Now I'm probably going to let that do is I'll let that set up for a while. Probably let it set for 5 minutes and take a bit and read the instructions. We'll let that sit, see what it does. And see if I can leave you in the same place. Maybe we can just turn it back off and turn it back on, see if you see a bit of a difference or not. Alright, so I'm going to shut you down right there. I know, it moved a little. But said to rinse with water, and then to buff with a steel wool, and keep reapplying it to get the darkness that you want. I don't know if I want to try that with steel wool first. What do I got? Just so happen to have a piece out. I'm sure you're supposed to go with the grain, but I don't know. I figure I'd do the whole frame. If I don't like it, I can come back darker. But that's pretty good. So now I just got to do that to that. All right, I'm gonna get on that. All right, I know the lighting sucks, but I'll give you a little before. I just got done cleaning it all up. And then we'll go do a little after. Oh no, it melted it. Actually, it didn't turn out like I thought it would, but that's okay. Here's what we got. The upper two frames are different. One was chromed, one was steel. So the one with the chrome on it, of course, did not darken nowhere near as much as the one that was steel. So essentially, wherever would rust would turn black. So that's pretty much what it did, you know, down in all the welds and stuff. And if you let it sit too much on there, it actually does turn it back to a brown colored rust. But if you go over it with the steel wool, it takes it right back off again and leaves the darkness behind. So it looks like it's pretty battered and weathered, and I kind of like that. Yeah, I look at it this way, worst case scenario, if I don't like it, there's a little jar that takes all the stuff right back off again, and then I can take the thing apart and clean it up and paint it. But I think all the dimensions of the different kind of shininess of metal, all the way down from, you know, black dull raw steel to shiny chrome stuff and stainless stuff, I think it might be pretty good. I threw the gas tanks on there just to try to get myself some bearing of what, you know, when you start plopping in all the brushed aluminum and shiny parts, how's it going to look? I think that'll make a nice backdrop for, you know, the shiny guards going around, the spokes on the back wheel, the front end with a kind of a brushed aluminum look to it. So that's what I'm going with, and they got a sealer for it, but I'm going to leave it like that for now. I could always put something on it later when the bike's all together. But I want to, any repairs I need to do is really easy too. I just can put some more of the stuff on it and you won't even know I was there. Yeah, it's like, if you look at this, you know, this was hit with the grinder everywhere, so it's pretty much an even tone to it. And then you look at the, up here, it's more of a, wherever the grinding disc got all the way through the chrome, it's probably where it is. I kind of like it. A lot of this you're not even going to see anyway too, though. It's going to have other stuff on it. Like I plan on putting a strip of leather down that, and the seat covers the back. I'm making excuses now. So we'll see. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap it up for tonight, and I'm probably going to polish this up just a little bit more, and then call it a night. So I will shut you guys down here. And again, thanks everybody for commenting, watching, and subscribing. All right, guys. Later.